It seems like as soon as we get to say hi to Natasha Romanoff in her own solo movie, we'll have to say goodbye again. We all know the character's fate after Avengers Endgame, but does this mean that Black Widow will be a self-contained dead end for Marvel? Well, of course not. Black Widow may be hiding some major tragedy with its cast of new characters. It seems like many of them won't make it out of the film alive, which is why they've all been absent in other Marvel films. But that doesn't mean the movie won't impact the future of the MCU. From rumors that Florence Pugh will be the new Black Widow to a hidden villain appearing in all the film's trailers, there are a few reasons that Nat's family, and even Natasha herself, might have new paths to follow once the film wraps up. So who's most likely to make it out alive? And who's most likely to join the dark side? We've got a few ideas. The final trailer for the upcoming Marvel blockbuster Black Widow promises a triumphant return to the screen for our favorite femme fatale, Natasha Romanoff. The MCU's Black Widow deserved her own solo movie years ago, but apparently the studio decided it would be the best to eliminate the Avenger completely in Endgame before giving her her own movie. An interesting choice, but we're still intrigued. Thankfully, bringing Natasha back is possible because the movie takes place in Marvel's past. Black Widow will be set between the events of Captain America's Civil War and Avengers Infinity War. While elements of the movie have been very mysterious, like who's under the Taskmaster mask, it's hard to keep us on the edge of our seats because we know that Natasha will survive and head off to fight alongside Captain America and Falcon as part of the Secret Avengers. Then she'll take part in the Battle of Wakanda. After the conflict ends in defeat for Earth's mightiest heroes, she will spend the next 5 years trying to pick up the pieces left in the wake of Thanos' snap, before sacrificing her own life to save the world. It's a tragic ending for our hero, but it suggests that Natasha's ending in her own solo movie will be much more positive, since she'll probably end up saving the day before she makes her way back to the Avengers. But Natasha's life isn't the only thing at stake in Black Widow. The trailer features Nat's makeshift family, and we love them all already. The group consists of Florence Pugh's Yelena Belova, David Harbour's Red Guardian, and Rachel Weisz's Malina Vostokov. But if Nat's family hasn't been part of a single Marvel film that takes place after the events of Black Widow, does that mean that the film will eliminate them completely? It would be tragic for Nat to reunite with her family only to lose them again, but there might be another way. Here's what we know so far. The Black Widow trailer features Natasha's makeshift family sitting around a dinner table, decked out in superhero costumes like they're ready to head into battle. And since it's revealed that copycat villain Taskmaster is now controlling the Red Room super assassins, it's probably best that Nat's family stays prepared. The trailer spends plenty of time showing the ties that bind these characters together, especially Yelena and Natasha, who aren't just rivals but truly feel like sisters. As for Alexei and Malina, they seem to take on the more parental roles of the group. On top of all the teasing and bickering, there's a level of familial support present that's rarely seen in the MCU. It kind of reminds us of Tony Stark's relationship with Peter Parker, and we all know that was a tearjerker. It's pretty surprising that after reuniting with her family, Nat would go join the Avengers and never ask them for support. They aren't present in the battle for Wakanda, for instance, and she never makes a reference to trying to find them after Thanos' snap, though it's possible that was done off-screen during the 5-year gap. The only real explanation for their absence is that the group may meet their end in Black Widow. If they're willing to stand and fight beside Natasha as a family, they wouldn't really abandon her when all hell breaks loose, right? It's hard to grasp, given how charming this new Marvel family already appears to be, that Black Widow may very well end with a devastating loss. But before you start worrying too much about Natasha's family, let's break it down character by character to see where each member of Nat's team is likely to end up by the movie's end. Let's start with Alexei. The Red Guardian has been out of the game for a bit, which is referenced by how hard it is for him to fit back into his costume. Since he's taking on the fatherly role of the group, could the movie end with him sacrificing himself for Natasha? It's very likely. Red Guardian is like the Russian Captain America. Going out by heroically sacrificing himself would be very true to his image. And since Marvel has a reputation for including a few tearjerker moments in their films, it would make sense that Alexei is the chosen sacrifice. We can already imagine an emotional final moment between Nat and her father figure, and with Stranger Things, David Harbour might be a bit too busy to be a central member of the MCU, but let us know in the comments if you think Red Guardian is going to make it out of this one alive. So what about Nat's mother figure, Malina? Well, the reason Malina doesn't return might be a lot less touching. Malina Vostokov appears in the Marvel comics as a Red Room assassin trained in ways similar to Nat, but she also takes on the role of Iron Maiden. The super spy has one surprising character trait that hints at a major twist in the film. Malina hates the Black Widow. That's right, Iron Maiden has always compared herself to Natasha, and because of this, she's developed a rivalry and some hardcore resentment for her Red Room sister. She even tries to take out Nat at one point. Could this be why Marvel decided to include her character in the film? The character has generally been referred to as simply Malina up till now, but Rachel Weisz did let it slip during an interview that her character's last name is Vostokov. While Malina seems like a good choice for a mentor-like figure, in real life Weisz is 15 years older than Scarlett Johansson. It would be a definite plot twist to introduce a second villain who's seemingly close to Natasha. Malina could even be teaming up with Taskmaster and tricking Nat and the others the whole time. If that's the case, then Natasha might have to defeat Malina by the end of the film, leading to some emotional family betrayal. If Malina does make it out of the movie alive, it makes sense that she wouldn't have appeared in other MCU films. Iron Maiden definitely wouldn't be on Nat's speed dial when she's in need of some backup, but someone who would be on Nat's speed dial is Yelena Belova. Actress Florence Pugh has been rumored to take up the Black Widow role in future MCU films. In the comics, she's the second character to take on the role of Black Widow, and she's also the only Red Room graduate to earn marks higher than Natasha's. But a huge flaw in that theory is that she probably would have joined Natasha in battle by now if she survived the events of Black Widow. So what gives? Now we know this might take some retconning on Marvel's part to make it make sense, but they could definitely find a way to explain Yelena's absence. In the comics, she's a model for a while, so maybe she decides she wants a life away from crime and fighting. It's possible that Nat tells her to get out and get a normal life by the end of the film. That might be why Nat never really returns to Russia, since there's no longer anyone there for her. If that's the case, Yelena may have been avoiding the major battles that happened, and she might even have been snapped away thanks to the Infinity Gauntlet. That's probably why she'll be able to hop onto the Avengers without looking much older. Finding out about Natasha losing her life to save the world might be the catalyst Yelena needs to get back into crime fighting. So do you think Yelena will be the MCU's next Black Widow? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This brings us to the after credits scene. Marvel movies usually have one, and they almost always reveal a surprising twist and sneak peek at a future MCU film. For Black Widow, we can likely expect an after credits scene that alludes to the surviving characters' futures. It could possibly show them at a funeral for Nat, finding out what happened to her, or it could feature the rumored new Black Widow Yelena, joining forces with the Avengers. There's also a good possibility that the Iron Maiden or Taskmaster will reveal the start of an evil plan that they'll play out in another Marvel movie or TV show. Something else we might get is a touching goodbye to Natasha. Fans were a bit upset that Nat's sacrifice wasn't talked about as much as Tony Stark's at the end of Endgame. This is because Marvel decided to wait and give Nat her own movie first, and then focus on how everyone will say goodbye to the character. So even though we know Nat will survive Black Widow, the movie's ending will probably still give us the chance to say a tearful goodbye to the iconic character. But is this really Natasha Romanoff's final film in the MCU? The character first appeared a decade ago in 2010's Iron Man. It would be a huge change in the Marvel universe to really get rid of the character, but Nat has defied the odds before, so there is a chance she could come back, right? Sadly, it seems like her ending was too purposeful and final for Marvel to really want to play with our emotions and erase it. But a comment from one of Endgame's directors, Joe Russo, gives us some hope that Natasha's not quite done being the Black Widow just yet. In the commentary for Endgame, Joe Russo said that people have asked why Natasha didn't get the same amount of screen time post-sacrifice as Tony did. Well, Tony does not have another movie. Tony is done. And Natasha has another film. The Marvel Universe obviously does not have to move forward linearly anymore, but Natasha still has more screen time coming. So there you have it, the possibility that Natasha could continue as the Black Widow. Her films could be set in the past, or even an entirely different timeline. The Marvel films are getting more experimental lately, with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, WandaVision, What If, and even Thor Love and Thunder set to explore multiple universes, parallel timelines, and other crazy scenarios. And really, you didn't think Marvel would introduce a brand new film with a storytelling dead end, did you? Everything is connected, guys. But we feel pretty confident saying that either Yelena or Natasha will continue the Black Widow tradition in future MCU films. There's also a rumor that Marvel is busy developing a Thunderbolts movie or TV show. The Thunderbolts are a group of supervillains who are trying to repent for their days of crime. Characters like Bucky Barnes and Hawkeye have been a part of the group in the comics, as well as the second Black Widow herself. We'll be sure to keep you up to date on any future Thunderbolt news. We're crossing our fingers that the Red Room Spies might even have their own TV show in the works. A Disney Plus series set in the past would be an awesome way of keeping the characters around without messing with the timeline too much. Plus, with Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man rumored to make an appearance in Black Widow, an entire television show based on the femme fatale would give other Avengers who have hung up their suits a chance to reappear in the Marvel Universe. We're looking at you, Steve Rogers. Do you think we'll get more Black Widow movies? Will Natasha somehow defy the odds and be resurrected? Let us know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to ScreenRant to stay up to date. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.